What the Bat is a VR game that you're not meant to take too seriously. In a world where people have baseball bats instead of hands, you get to go through the grueling everyday issues that it takes to get through life with baseball bats. This is a game that if you're on the fence about, you can do a free trial before you consider buying it. Although we don't know whether it was ironically or unironically, but once upon a time, a major VR publication did say that this was Game of the Year. With over 100 unique levels, different chapters, challenges, and 4 hours of playtime, the game is one of the top rated games that have free trials. 4.5 star, 146 ratings. People saying it's just whimsy and they absolutely love it. People saying it's laugh out loud funny and the physics really make the game. People saying it's goofy, casual, and a great game to just put new people in VR into. And if you go looking for the bad reviews, people saying it's just mid, it's just not that good of an actual VR game, but you can try it free first and decide for yourself. Racket Club is a very physical VR sports game, one that you're jumping around playing a sport that's kind of like a cross between pickleball, tennis, racquetball, and you can play it gently or as intensely as you want to. Another game that you can try free if you want to with a 4.5 star rating, nearly 600 ratings, and people giving it all kinds of praise, saying it's the best VR game by far, they love it, and they even think it's better than sleeping. But people in the lower reviews complaining that the AI is too hard to play back against, and then other people saying the AI is too easy. But overall, tons of positive ratings give this a good rating, and if you're interested, you can check it out free without paying for it and then decide if you want it. The Seventh Guest VR is actually an old 90s game brought back as a VR mystery adventure now, and it's a 4.6 star rated game. 6 people paired together inside of a creepy old house wondering who the seventh guest is, with puzzles and dangers. It's something any mystery puzzle game fan should definitely use the free trial on. Over 500 ratings with people saying that it's really immersive and it's challenging, that people are back for the nostalgia of the original, and people saying that it's a great challenge but it's also stress-free and relaxing. Very few low ratings, but people saying that they had some issues with bugs, or people saying that the hand motions didn't work great, or that the game quit on them. A note to remember about these free trials, these are up to the developers whether they implement them and how long they keep them. So hopefully when you find this video, they're all still available for you to check out. And if you do, let me know in the comments which ones were your favorites. Genotype is a newer addition to the Quest store and a lesser known title, but a highly rated one among the people who have tried it. A Metroidvania first-person shooter adventure game. You're in Antarctica and suddenly you're overrun by these huge monsters with a printing mechanic where you can actually print different things, weapons, tools, and even creatures, and a recent huge combat update with that 77% 5-star ratings. People saying this is an underrated gem. People saying it's the perfect VR game and it's a masterpiece, something that you just have to have because it actually has a story with lore and great atmosphere. A couple things that we don't get too often in VR. Only 3% 1-star reviews, but people saying that they found it boring and repetitive. People saying that they loved it more before the update. But if you get in the free trial, be the judge for yourself. Sweet Surrender is a super fast-paced roguelike shooter. You are climbing up this mega tower, fighting your way to the top through all kinds of waves of enemies. And although the game's been out for about 3 years, it's getting updates still. If you like cel-shaded graphics and fast-paced action, the free trial on this one might be worth checking out, with over 500 people giving it a 4.6 star rating. Nearly all high ratings, people saying it's their favorite game, people saying they're really excited about the new updates and what they've got going on, people saying this is a true gem and not enough people know about the game. But some people in the lower reviews saying that it was too easy, they got through it too fast, people saying that they ran into bugs, and other people saying that the upgrades to the actual robot just weren't enough to keep the game interesting for them. For those of you out there who have already tried it, what do you think? Mother Gunship Forge is one of the more well-known ones on our list. This is a frantic VR FPS roguelite game where you are in a mech with different guns, and every time you get through a level, you either unlock a part to split the gun barrels or to add new gun barrels to it, and before you know it, you have this massive gun arm that is just blasting every direction and every enemy. There's even unlimited modes where you can play this as long as you want and end up with just the most ridiculous gun and the lowest frame rate possible. But with that, we're up in the 4.7 category, almost 700 ratings, 83% 5-star on this one. People saying it really exceeded their expectations and the co-op is great. People saying it's just so good you can build the most OP weapons possible. People saying you can literally get endless hours out of this, especially when you're playing it with friends. And if you go looking for what did the people say that didn't like it as much, people said that they were having fun in the game and they had it break on them. People saying that they didn't like the way you stood in place and it was really a wave shooter. And some people saying even though they got it free with MetaQuest Plus, they still want a refund. Although I can personally say I've played this with friends, and if you're into these type of games, it is really fun. You can spend countless hours with those friends in the game. Definitely something to check out the free trial on if you're interested. If you want to go back to a simpler time in gaming, Neodori Infinity might just scratch that itch for you. Based on the old retro games of the 80s, this is a high-speed road trip racer with the option to play the game in first or third person using the joypad or even the actual virtual wheel inside of the car. Firmly holding its spot with a 4.7 star, nearly 50 ratings. Not a lot of people know about this game that only came out last year. 88% of the people who do know about it think it's worth 5 stars. People saying they're addicted. It's a fun racer and the art style is great. People saying they love the customization, how addictive it is. And with very few low ratings, it's hard to find much feedback, but people saying that the original was better. So if you do decide to try this one out in the free trial, maybe leave them some ratings and help give them some more feedback. Whether you miss duck hunt or you just like skeet shooting, Clay Hunt VR brings us into the 4.8 star area. This is a shotgun shooting simulator where you can play alone or with your friends in multiplayer competitions. And this is meant to be a realistic shotgun sports game with clay shooting and hunting modes. And they even encourage, if you have a gun stock, use it to give yourself that more realistic feel. A little more well known with over 300 ratings in that 4.8 star rating, 87% 5 stars. People say it's surprisingly helpful. They were actually able to improve their real life shooting with this, especially using a gun stock. People saying this is really a training app and the physics actually check out. And with almost no low ratings, a few people citing some bugs they had with the game not wanting to open or something that they added not showing up. And some people pointing out how if you do pay the base price, there is more add-ons that you can pay for, which they thought should have just been included. But this is one that even flew under the radar for me, so I'm actually adding the free trial to check out myself. If you've been looking for a drumming style game that looks similar to Beats here but also gives you a pet running alongside you, then Boombox with its 4.9 rating might be worth checking out the free trial. Not only did they advertise this as a fun drumming fitness game, but it also has actual baked-in support to download community maps directly from the game menu. No third-party tools, you can download them directly in, and people apparently like that, with 89% of people saying this is a 5-star game. People saying it's a great underrated, it's fantastic, the cat is so cute, and they love it. And with not a single written review below a 4-star, apparently people just don't want to give this game a bad rating. A couple of 4 stars saying it has potential, it still needs work. Someone saying they're not a cat person and they want an option to remove the cat. What kind of person is this? But an extremely high rating and a free trial, so if you've been playing Beat Saber and you want to try a whole different take on the genre, definitely worth checking out, unless you're not a cat person. There are so few games in the Quest Store that have so many 5-star ratings. They are actually 5-star games, and Puzzling Places is one of those. This is a 3D jigsaw puzzle game, and this is a game that's been out for around 3 years, but still gets updates, got mixed reality added recently, and has multiple different packs, although you will be buying additional puzzle packs down the road if you want to keep playing this out. With over 2,200 ratings giving this a 5-star rating, people saying it's addictive, it keeps your brain moving. They'd give it 10 stars if they could, and puzzle enthusiasts are all gonna love it. But countless people in the reviews talking about how they bought a puzzle pack and it's not working, how there was issues in the game, glitches that need to be fixed, especially if you spent money. Although the developer's showing up and responding to almost every single low review with how to fix it. 2,200 people think it's worth trying. So if you try it, let me know what you think. I will say I've tried this game and it is very charming, and everyone I put in it, if they like puzzles, they love this game. No More Rainbows was free for years in beta on App Lab and has now come out with a price with their full launch, and this is a very unusual take on a game because instead of you trying to save the planet, you have woken up from your sleep as the Beast and you're way too sick of how everybody is sunshine and rainbows everywhere, and you are hellbent to destroy that happiness. A different take on it with Gorilla Tag style locomotion, you're bouncing around destroying cute characters and taking over the land, and apparently it's charming enough with that premise that 5,600 people have given this a 5-star rating. People saying it's a great game, people saying they love the fun, the multiplayer, the campaign, people saying there's just so many epic things to do in it, people saying it's really good and giving it 1 star. Some people saying they didn't find it fun or they thought that the ending was too difficult. But can a 5-star rating really be wrong with that many people rating it? Let me know what you think. I tried the beta when it was still free and it was an amazing take on the whole genre of gaming. It was really fun. And with that, there's a whole bunch of games you can go try free before you decide if you want to buy it, especially if you're still spending some of that Oculus credit from the referral program before they changed it up and made all the referrals worth way less. But if you're wondering more about that, I'll leave a video here that talks about the changes and stuff and what else is going on in the VR industry. Thank you for coming out and being here with me again today, and I'll see you in another reality.